everyone, and welcome once again to Formula Racing League. We are here in the third season of the FRL Championship, coming to you from Circuit Paul Ricard in France. We've got 16 drivers joining in today, and we've just got a few who are making their way out onto the grid now. So this will be Fiji Domo and Flex being the first two to set some laps as they come around here. We'll be traveling with Flex since he doesn't have the rev glitch going on right now. A couple of interesting pieces of news. Balzac will be doing this as his very first race without the racing line on. So he's making a big move up towards a greater simulation there. And here we go as Fiji starts his first hot lap. Making his way into turn 1, Verreille. Carrying as much speed as he can through here. A nice straight line, and then going to be braking just past the 100-meter board. Late braking there as he shifts down into 4th gear to make us through this slow, tight, technical section, then power on. Getting to the inside, just touching the apex, and then carrying out as much speed as he dares without losing control as he makes his way out onto the Mistral straight. Top speed at the circuit here, and then he brakes just past 100 for the Montreal hairpin. Hairpin, I should say, chicane. And then on from here. Through Signa, that's a flat right-hander. And then here we go. Very interesting corner. Bossu. And this is one where you carry as much speed as you can through a big, long, delayed apex. And here we go. A little bit wide here. That's going to delay the power application, but he's still allowed as he makes it through Bondon and Galabin. And here we go. 2 corners to go. And now just one as he makes his way around the tight pont corner and back onto the start and finish straight. And Fiji Domo is going to be the first to set a lap time, and it's going to be a 1:31.8. Flex coming through, and he's got a 1:30.2. Rafa looks like he's had his lap forbidden here, unless he's just coming out onto a hot lap right now. No, he won't be. That will have been a lap disallowed for Rafa. So on board here with Brother John as he makes his way through the second sector. And coming out onto the Mistral straight. Maximum speed is 321 kilometers per hour, and then he makes his way through the Montreal chicane. Nice wide entry, and then clipping the apex as he makes his way through the high-speed scenic corner. And now here we go, braking down into 5th gear. Just enough to keep it onto the apex. Doesn't use all of the track on the exit as he now makes his way through this tight sector 3. Lots of lines that you can take there through turn 12. And then here we go. It's all about the setup and getting maximal acceleration out of this very tight turn 15. And here we are back onto the start-finish straight as Brother John makes his way out. Fujitomo sets the time ahead. Pardon me, that's T. Goldie, and Brother John goes with 131.5. Flex still leading on pace here. Now we're on board with Raro and his Aston Martin on his first hot lap. The DRS is open as he makes his way down the high-speed Mistral Straight. Let's see how he's got it set up for top speed here. Is he going to exceed 321? 322. So it looks like he's got very similar top speed performance right now. And that is a lap set for Taylor Funk. That's a 142.7. That's going to be well off the pace, probably heading off during that lap. Hey there, Sheer Insanity. Thank you very much. And we're really looking forward to having you with us again. Sheer Insanity, of course, has had some excellent qualifying results through this season, but has had some misfortune during the races. But he's definitely going to be a challenger for wins later on once he is back with us at FRL. I can't commentator's curse you because you're not racing in this race, so don't worry, it's all good. And here comes Raro. And that's going to put him in 4th position with a 131.255. So Flex currently leads, and he's on an outlap himself. And Joe Patel is in 3rd with a very nice looking qualifying lap there. El Suciadan completing his outlap, and now ESD is beginning his very first hot lap here. He's coming up just behind the back of what I do believe is Camborne's vehicle. Oh, there we go, carrying as much speed as he dares through there. It's Flex, actually. Braking at 50, making his way through the hotel chicane. And now, tricky power application around these corners. So easy to loosen the spin out here, leaving a little space to the apex as ESD makes his way down the high-speed Mistral Straight. The DRS flap is open as he makes his way along. 324 kilometers is his maximum speed as he makes his way through the Montreal chicane, cutting it as close as he can without getting the lap disallowed. And now he makes his way through the exit. The power is all the way down again, and that is a purple sector for El Suciadan. Here we go, that very late braking, taking as much of the track as he dares, and now he makes his way through Sector 3. Braking to get that very, very good launch. You won't want to go too tight there, or else you'll get really thrown off by the high inside curb. And now, making his way tight through the lap corner. And now into Pont. And power is down as he races, DRS is open, and now it is a straight shot to the finish. El Suciadan looking very, very good here. And he's on pole, provisionally, with a 130.026. Not quite a 129, but that is a mark in the sand for everyone else to have a look at. Let's see Flex coming through here. Flex is now going to be starting his 2nd hot lap. And let's see what he can do here. Meanwhile, we have Brother John, Fujitomo, and Red Baron all on outlaps. Rafa, Get Dunked, Balzac, and Kenny LaFleur, and Red Baron as well, all yet to set a time. Alright, let's see if we're going to get any purple sectors here. Oh, hang on, I just realized this is Flex not on a hot lap here. Racing on nigh empty, so let's move to someone else for the moment. Brother John heating up his tires as he makes his way through an outlap here. With a 131.5, Brojo is definitely going to want to push himself higher up, and here is his opportunity to do so as he races down the start-finish straight, shifting over to the right hand of the track as he makes his way to enter turn 1, turns it in, and pushing his way through, uses as much as he dares, keeps traction nicely. There's a little bit of a crowd up ahead, hopefully they'll be able to get out of the way for him. Brakes late, carries 4th gear through here, and then shifts down into 2nd to make his way through the very, very slow comp corner. Get dunked a little bit in the way, but he's able to keep clear. And it looks like he's able to navigate this fairly well. His teammate, Balzac, is just up ahead, and Balzac lets him through. It's very good to see Brother John get through that properly. Down to 3rd gear, and then power delivery on. It may be a little distracting to have those cars flying all over, but fortunately none of them have been in the way on the track. And here we go, throwing his way onto the Bosu corner. And now through this lovely technical sector 3. Oh, and that's what happens. That is what happens when you put the wheel on the inside of the curb at Bondor. Pardon me, that's Lac. No, that's Bondor. And that's the lap finished for Brother John. Alright, here we go. Kenny LaFleur. Oh, that was a dangerous moment right there, but Kenny has set a purple sector in Sector 1. So let's see what he can do here. Kenny LaFleur, of course, 2nd place in the championship right now, 30 points down on Flex. But Flex missed the last race in Portimao. That gave everyone a bit of a chance, but Kenny wasn't really able to capitalize, only scoring 8 points in the absence of his big championship rival. The win was taken by Camborne with his first victory and only 2nd podium of the season. Which, incidentally, has really put Camborne into contention for a high position in this championship. He's only 3 points off of Kenny right now. Oh, and that's the lap disallowed. He was pushing just a little bit too hard, and oh, this is going to be dangerous. Kenny just needs to go into the pits and get back out right away, or else he is not going to have a qualifying time. Into the pits with you, Kenny. Kenny! Oh, no! The fact that he's not going into the pits means that Kenny is not going to set a qualifying lap here. He won't have enough time. So instead, let's go on Bourne with Camborne, who's just finished his first sector. Not setting the world alight with this lap. So far, everyone has set their times on the softs. Clears through the Montreal chicane, and Sector 2 is finished with a 50.3. That's 6 tenths up on his best time, which would be, if he's able to hold that and not improve anywhere else, enough to push him up to about 6th position. Ooh, that was dangerously close. Almost got his lap disallowed in the exact place that Kenny did. Now making his way through Garlaban. Lac. And this final turn 15. And then the power delivery. How much can you put the power down without spinning here? Camborne coming through, and he's able to launch himself up extremely close to Red Baron, and Cam puts himself in P7, and there won't be time for any more laps for him. Robert also qualifying on these softs, but this is just an outlap. Aimless Nate, currently in P10. Gonna see what he can do here as he throws his way through Sector 1, but there's a huge crowd in front of him, and the lap is disallowed. A little bit of an interesting line there as as Rafa makes his way around. His outlap, of course, it doesn't matter. What matters is keeping it clean here, so Rafa right now is the big challenger to El Sucio Dan alongside Flex, and they're all on outlaps. So Dan's in Sector 3, Rafa's just starting Sector 1, Flex is just starting Sector 3, Prestige, who is currently in 4th position, is going to be getting one more lap as well. And Taylor Funk, qualifying very nicely, is currently sitting P5 and will also be about to start his lap, but let's keep an eye on Rafa and see what he does here. It's the long bomb down Mistral, keeping very wide to get an optimal entry, but the curbs can throw you for a bit of a bump. Is anyone going to be able to beat 130 and drop down into the 129s? If there's going to be a lap to do it, this would be the one. Rafa has set a purple sector. We'll see if anyone else is able to do that as well. T Goldie, not able to set a purple as he comes through on Sector 2. And here we go. 2 corners to go for RFX Rafa. He gets that very late apex. Now coming through, shifting down into 2nd gear, then up, short shifting into 3rd. Power down, and he's racing straight to the finish here. It's halfway down the straight. And Rafa on provisional pole, half a second up. Now let's see, El Sucio Dan will be the next of these top drivers to come through. Very nice line through this final set of corners. The power delivery. 126, 7, 8, 9. He's not done it. A very, very tiny improvement on his own time, but it's not enough. Taylor Funk now. Where will he be able to put himself? 127, 128. He's looking good here. And Taylor Funk jumps El Sucio Dan and puts himself into 2nd place. Now, Flex has had his lap disallowed. Oh, that's critical. Prestige. Is there anything that the Alfa Romeo driver can do? A little wide through the final corner. He's getting the power down, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to push himself any higher up. He goes just slightly better on his own time, securing 5th. Hang on, is Kenny LaFleur still on the lap here? Actually, it looks like Kenny LaFleur racing on these old tires. Oh, is he? What? Kenny. Well, Brother John then, the last to set a lap here. But it's been disallowed. So that's going to be the end of qualifying. Rafa secures a pole position by a big gap. That's going to be a 129.503 for RFX Rafa. Taylor Funk lines up 2nd on the grid with a 129.946, followed by El Sucio Dan with a 30.016. Flex, 7/10 off of the leader, and Prestige, 8 back. And then we have a little bit of a time gap to Robbo in 6th, Red Baron in 7th, Camborne, Kenny LaFleur, J.L. Patel in 10th, and then Nameless Nate going to be the first with a strategy option. We've got Nate, T. Goldie, Fichidoma, Brother Tone, Balzac, and Get Dunked in 16th. And it looks like we've got rainy conditions here. It's going to be a wet race at Paul Ricard. So giving a little run through the standings. Currently we have Flex leading. He's got 121 points. And he has... Oh no, someone has hit go to track. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is not good. do not hit go to track. This is, well, not optimal. Okay, well, here we go. The race is starting already. And here we are. Rafa on pole. And we are going. Oh, what a... you absolutely hate to see it. Nonetheless, El Sucio Dan has secured first place. And Nameless Nate is... that's just very, very frustrating for Nameless Nate. I am not pleased with whoever hit go to track there. That is not appropriate to do. El Sucio Dan is leading the race, followed by Flex and Prestige. Taylor Funk further back, followed by Cambor, Robert, Jail Patel has just lost it in his Red Bull, and he's going to drop down to the very back of the pack. Rafa going up the inside of Goldie. And something very bad happened to Rafa on the start there. Hopefully everyone was able to get their strategies set up properly. So, big winners on the start there. Dan, Flex, and Prestige all up 2 positions, but Rafa has been a big loser here, and he now finds himself behind Robro. And Robro himself is getting a little bit aggressive behind Cambor. Cam takes a bit of a wide line, and Robro is going to push himself up around the outside. Here we go, he's taken a very wide line, and that is going to potentially open up a chance for Rafa to do something here. And Rafa himself is pursued by T. Goldie, who's up 4 positions here. And Rafa is through. That's odd. Possibly a little bit of cars jumping around there. Kenny LaFleur, meanwhile, in a bit of a battle with Red Baron. And a wide line there through the, Well, it looks like we've potentially got a little bit of desync here with Camboard showing an X. Meanwhile, Red Baron is just fending off Brother John for 10th position right now. Got a little bit of activity here as we've got drivers making their way around Cam, who is currently disconnected. So that's going to be shaking things up just a little bit through the midfield. And let's see if Rafa can take advantage of this as he goes around the inside of T. Goldie. And he's up the inside line coming into the start-finish straight. Fastest lap, meanwhile, for El Sucio Dan, who's built up a 2-second gap. Rafa making a bit of a run on T. Goldie, but T. Goldie is not going to give up his position, not just yet. So currently, everyone is running the exact same strategy. Oh, and T. Goldie has a bit of a moment there. Is perhaps, yes, this is going to be a bit of a moment. Rafa coming up on the inside of T. Goldie. And he's through. And now we're going to see if Kenny LaFleur is going to be able to do just the same. Kenny up the inside. But he backs out of it, and T. Goldie hold on to his position in Haas, but now Brother John is right onto the back of this group. Oh, and we've got a spun off T Goldie just ahead. That's unfortunate for him. And it looks like we had a couple of components sitting there. Brother John right all over the back of Kenny LaFleur. He wants to get something done, wants to make something happen. Well, we'll come back to that in a moment. Let's give a little bit of feedback. Oh, good. Camborne looks like he's reconnected, so he should be able to get his car back under control and get back into this race. He's not too far back, not yet. So leading the race, we have El Sucio Dan. He is pursued 2 seconds back by Flex and Prestige. Taylor Funk is fairly close to Prestige, and then there's a small gap back to Raro. And now the fight begins. We've got Rafa, Kenny LaFleur, Brother John, Red Baron. Small gap back to Balzac, Get Dunked, Fiji Domo, JL Patel, T Goldie, and chasing down T Goldie is Camborne, who should be returning to control his car any moment now. So Brother John continuing to maintain a close offensive on the back of Kenny LaFleur here. And this is currently one of the closest fights, although a little bit further back you can see that also we have a tight fight with Get Dunked, J.O. Patel, and T. Goldie. So why don't we have a look as J.O. Patel is poking his nose up the inside. They're side by side coming in, and Get Dunked backs out of it. Is he going to be able to make a cut back here? J.O. Patel has a slightly better line through the Montreal chicane, and that looks like Jay will have been able to secure 12th position. Making their way around now, we've got Rafa right on the back of Raro. Rafa right on the back of Raro, but keep in mind, as this is a rainy race, we are not going to see any DRS. So Camborne is now back into the race, and we'll see if he's able to do something with the unfortunate situation he's been left in with that disconnection. Rafa clearly showing a bit of a pace advantage, but he's still got to get around Raro. And you don't underestimate the power of defensive driving when there is no drag reduction. Oh, Rafa loses it face first into the wall, and RoarFX Rafa is out of the session. I think that's going to be a safety car, as you can see that there is some strange magic going on over here with the tires. Golly, that's some physics going on right there. I'm mesmerized. I just can't look away from it. It's stunning. Alright, so here we go. J.O. Patel just ahead of Fiji Domo, but Fiji is going to see if he can make a move here. Coming up around the outside, he takes it to the right. Now it's going to be a drag race down into the corner, but he has the inside line. Making his way through, and J.O. Patel takes the better line. Fiji Domo is not able to secure it right now, but he's got Get Dunked right behind him now. So surprisingly, that's no safety car. And the race continues. El Sucio Dan continues to maintain a 2-second lead. Meanwhile, T Goldie and Get Dunked in a battle for position. T Goldie holds 12th, Get Dunked in 13th place, and behind them by 4 seconds is Camborne, who is rapidly closing the gap to these cars. Tight battle up ahead here. Everyone led by Balzac, who has a 4-second gap to Red Baron up ahead, but he has got a crowd nipping at his heels. J.O. Patel has been showing some good pace here. It's all about patience. RFX Rafa got a little bit impatient. He knew he could be ahead of Raro, and he pushed it just a little bit too soon. Now Jay coming in really close here, and you've got Fiji and T Goldie all ready to make a move. Here we go. They're coming out onto the Mistral straight now. Oh, and that's someone quite wide further ahead. Does that get dunked? A little bit of a move there as Get Dunked makes his way through on T Goldie. And the battle for 12th and 13th continues. Joe Patel looks like he might have a slightly better launch, but Balzac, in spite of that weird line he took, does seem to get a slightly better run. Oh, is Jay going to dare to push up the inside? Yes, he does, and Balzac sees Joe Patel make his way through. Can he get a cutback? No, it doesn't look like a cutback's in the books, and Joe Patel pushes his way up into 9th position. Now it's Fiji's turn, and Fiji barging there, and he's through on Balzac, who is demoted down to 11th place with that move. It's always tricky. Racing under these conditions, the cars are slipperier, they're sloppier, they don't brake as well, they definitely don't accelerate as well, and it's so much easier, as you saw from Rafa, to just lose it through these high-speed corners. And Paul Ricard has a lot of high-speed corners. El Sucio Dan out front, maintaining a 2.5 second lead, ahead of Flex, Prestige, and Taylor Funk. Then a small gap, back to Raro. And it looks like we've got a little bit of activity up ahead. If you look at Raro, he has got, well, you know, no threat from Rafa anymore, so now Kenny comes up. And we'll see what he can do. Kenny LaFleur continuing to chase down Raro, but it doesn't look like he's got the move just yet. We got some side-by-side. Let's Get Dunked, and T Goldie once again racing through side-by-side. Get Dunked has the right line. T Goldie has the left. They come through side-by-side, and I think they're going to hold it. And there we go. T Goldie in the Haas gets a 3-second penalty for some corner cuts there, but he is nonetheless through on Get Dunked, and it seems that the game regards that as a legal overtake. So he got through while staying mostly on the track. And now Get Dunked is going to come back and fight that, but look who it is. It is Camborn. He is not a ghosted AI anymore. This is the real deal. This is Cam. And he's saying, get out of my way, I have got some points to earn today. So Cam being patient here, and it seems that we've had some trouble for Balzac. I think that he had a little bit of a spin earlier, which caused him to lose position. And that's going to drop him as well behind T Goldie, who moves up to 11th place. Dunked and Goldie have been having a little bit of a battle here. Here we go, Cam up the inside. And Get Dunked is not going to do much to defend against that. Cam secures 13th position, and now he's going to be taking a look up ahead towards Balzac. He needs to make sure he doesn't make the mistake that Rafa made, being a person with some very high pace who gets impatient behind someone else. You just got to push your way through. There's still 19 laps left in this race. Back up to the leader, we've got El Sucio Dan, who has a 4-second interval to the second place driver, Flex. Pursuing Flex is Taylor Funk, and then Funk is pursued by Prestige. Prestige has a 5-second gap back to Ravaro, who is fending off a charging Kenny LaFleur. And then we've got Brother John another 5 seconds back. Brojo leads Red Baron, who has a comfortable gap back to Fiji Doma, and Fiji is fighting off Joe Patel. Well, fastest lap for El Sucio Dan once again, as he continues to show himself to be a real threat and a potential challenger to retake his championship. Keep in mind, El Sucio Dan is the reigning FRL Season 2 champion. So Joe Patel leads T Goldie, who is holding off Balzac, and then the charging Camborn, who is in turn pursued by Get Dunked. And Get Dunked has a lovely view of this. Camborn goes a little bit wide here, but he's going to have a move on Balzac. He's right behind him, and he looks like he's got the pace. Just 1/10 between them, and here we go, up the inside, coming in towards Valerie. He brakes, he leaves the space, And Camborne is up to 12th position. A little bit of a moment there, and is Balzac going to try and fight this back? I imagine he's not. Lots and lots of deployment available for Balzac as Cam really pushing. You can see how much he wants it right now. But I don't think the Balzac is going to be able to take this back from Cam. We go on board with Kenny LaFleur, who is continuing to chase down Raro. He's closed the gap, but he has not been able to get past this Aston Martin. Raro has been flawless in his driving, has not been making any mistakes that would allow Kenny to cut through this defense. And he's getting some nice exit. And this is the closest battle on track right now. So right now, things are looking very nice in the championship for Flex. El Dan, still only 34 points in the championship, so he's nearly 90 points down. Oh, it's the first pit stop, and Flex has pitted. He said, you know what, enough of those tires, I'm putting on some new ones. Is he perhaps doing a two-stop? I wonder. But he's going to come out reasonably close to Brother John, but I suspect just a little ways ahead. We've got 2 more pit stops for T. Goldie and no, not Camborne. That's Get Dunked. T. Goldie and Get Dunked both making pit stops right now. Raro with a view back to Kenny LaFleur. Meanwhile, elsewhere, we've got Fiji continuing to fend off Jail Patel. I want to go on board with him now. Just coming out onto the Mistral Straight. He's keeping the gap open. Not a great deal available in terms of resources for either of them. Jay's very close in the chicane, but then Fiji gets such a nice launch out of the chicane and through, and that's what he's using in order to defend here. Kenny pursuing Raro through Sector 3. Oh, that's a moment right there, and that's going to be a little bit of breathing space for the Aston Martin, who's running a very nice 4th position right now. I'll avoid any commentators' curses. El Dan has pitted, and with that he has lost the lead, and he's going to come out just ahead of Flex, I suspect. Oh, actually, he's come out just ahead of Raro. So that is very nice for him. There's a small gap, and he was able to put himself into it. So I wonder if they're going to be doing a slightly early one-stop strategy here, or if there might be some people who are going to be running 2 stops on the intermediate tire. Kenny LaFleur has dropped down to a 2nd back after his little mistake, but he is gradually pushing his way back. Red Baron, meanwhile, pursuing Brother John, and Jail Patel is right on the back still of Fiji Domo. It's all about the exit, and Jay takes a deep line into the Montreal chicane, and that's costing him a lot because it doesn't give him any offensive opportunities out of this. Really, what Jay needs is something to really slingshot himself out of the Mistral corner and on to the Mistral Straight. Carrying as much speed as they can through Sector 3. And that looks like we've got Prestige and Taylor Funk, no, just Prestige actually, making their way into the pit lane. And that promotes El Sudan back into 2nd, and Raro temporarily into 3rd, but of course he has not yet made his pit stop. Red Baron is close behind Brother John here, and they're all making their way through, and Prestige making his way out of the pits. This is going to put him right by Camborne. So Cam, almost back up into the points now. But we'll see if any opportunities are able to open up for him. We come to Jay. The turns coming up are going to be critical because he's so much faster than Fiji through this section. But he doesn't want to compromise his line out. And here we go, you can see Fiji always gets that slightly better acceleration. And he is deploying to defend against Jay Patel. And it looks like Jay once again is not going to get an opportunity. Fiji just hiding the inside a little bit. And once again, look, Jay just gets so close, but then he does not get the launches. So he needs to calm down, he needs to think about this very tactically. Think, okay, I need to compromise my entrances a little bit in order to get the exits. The exits are going to be absolutely key here. Further ahead, we've got a little bit of a battle going on here as Red Baron chases Jay Patel, but I think the place to be right now is Raro looking backwards at Kenny LaFleur and Flex. Get Dunk picks up a major penalty, while El Suciodan sets another fastest lap, and he is about to catch up with Taylor Funk. So on board with Flex here. He's in a bit of an awkward position. He's quite a bit back on El Suciodan. Both the drivers ahead of him have yet to pit. Jay continuing to chase down Fiji, but Fiji is just shutting the door saying, hey man, you know, if you want to pass me, you have to be faster in the straights. And critically, Jay has not been able to go faster in the straights. El Suciodan right on the back of Taylor Funk. And you have to think that T-Funk doesn't have that long left until El Suciodan is simply able to force a move here. In fact, he might go and do so into Sinya. He's up the inside, and there's nothing to do about it. El Suciodan retakes the lead, and now is both in the lead and on a fresher set of tires than Taylor Funk. Robert, 5.6 seconds back, is fending off Kenny LaFleur. Oh, and here we go. It looks like Jay has had a bit of a moment there, and that has allowed Prestige to get through. So Jay has been challenging Fiji for so long, but now suddenly Jay finds himself overtaken by Prestige for 9th position. A little wide for Fiji there. And here we go. Taylor Funk is now making his pit stop. As is Raro, as is Kenny LaFleur. It's the halfway point of the race, and they're saying it's going to be damp this whole time. Let's just make our way through, shall we? And here we go, Flex making his pit stop. Oh, everyone's coming into the pits. Brother John. Red Baron not making a pit stop here, nor is Fiji, nor is Prestige. Camborne going to jump a lot of cars here, but again, he has still not changed his tires. So Camborne finds himself just behind Taylor Funk, who has now gotten himself out onto fresh tires. So of the people who did this mid-lap, Taylor Funk finds himself, mid-race tire change. That's going to be exactly, well, it's going to be Taylor Funk leading that group, I should say. Prestige now in the back of Fiji Domo. Oh, here we go. This is something Jay was never able to do, is stay so close during the Mistral Straight. They're coming along side by side, roaring down 312 kilometers an hour, and he's got the inside line. Fiji Domo tries to outbrake him. He goes up, and he is not able to maintain the corner. Prestige going around the outside. Goodness, I can't quite keep an eye on exactly where it was going there. It was a tough camera angle to catch, but Prestige is able to make it through after forcing Fiji to brake just a little bit too late into the Montreal chicane. And with that, Prestige pushes his way up into 4th position ahead of Fiji. Keep in mind, Fiji has not yet pitted, nor has Camborne, so Fiji and Cam are kind of the guys to compare right here. Taylor Funk finds himself behind Prestige. He'll have very, very slightly more tire wear left to go, but at 2 laps difference, that's not going to be too much. Is there going to be a little move on Fiji here, or is he going to wait for the main straight? Fiji is going into the pits. Fiji is into the pits. Camborne also into the pits, as we have 3 pit stops, because is that the Red Baron? I think that is. And on board then with his teammate, this is going to launch Raro back ahead of all of those, and once again Raro is pursuing a distance behind Taylor Funk. Kenny LaFleur is going to be coming out close to these drivers as he makes his way out, and he is comfortably into 6th position. Brother John is in pursuit. Oh, and we've got a little bit of aggression here, as we've got T. Goldie is able to make his way out just ahead of this little group. But now, let's see if Fiji is going to do something to try and fight T. Goldie, and we've got a... Oh, is that Taylor? Taylor Funk finds himself in a place where you do not want to be, and he loses position to Raro. Still holds 5th as there was a lot of space there, but he's no longer right on the back of Prestige. Red Baron leading T. Goldie, but T. Goldie is looking to go offensive here. However, Red Baron has a lot of energy restoration to deploy here. Energy Restoration System, I think that's a new name that hasn't been used previously. But we've got Baron, Goldie, Fiji, and Cam, who has now pitted, and Cam has put himself right on the edge of the points after spending several laps disconnected under the control of a very slow AI. So this is a big recovery run, and he has 10 more laps and change to make it up as high as he can, and I can definitely see him getting into the middle points here. So Camborne is the man to watch right now as he chases down Red Baron, T. Goldie, and Fiji. These being the closest battles on camera, they're all together. Why don't we go and have a little bit of a cinematic view for a moment. So Red Baron and Aston Martin leading ahead of T. Goldie. That's Fiji Domo. And Camborne chasing down behind. Oh, a little bit wide there for T. Goldie. And here we go. Camborne getting aggressive on Fiji. We've seen Fiji be a very effective defensive driver against J.L. Patel. Let's see what he can do against someone like Camborne. Camborne, of course, 3rd in the championship right now, just 3 points off of Kenny, who is in 2nd. Oh, and that's a wide line for Fiji, and that is going to allow Camborne to get through on Fiji Domo, and Camborne in his AlphaTauri. Oh, but Fiji is going back up the inside. They're going side by side through the corners here. And Cam is able to hold on to his position. Fiji now trying to fight it back, but I don't think there's going to be any line, any opportunity for him here, and now we're going to see Fiji's line has had him have amazing acceleration, but he's not quite so fast through the corners, and this is a point where Cam is going to be able to build a little bit of a gap, and if he's not close enough, he's not going to be able to take that position back. Let's see the line that he can get through Bondol, and then into the long, gentle right-hander of Garlemald, and then only 2 corners left to go to the end of the track, and I think that that is a position secure for Camborne. Taking a look back towards the front, we can see that Taylor Funk is getting right back onto the rear of Raro. It took a mistake to put Taylor Funk back here, and now he's going to want to get ahead, but he doesn't want to make the same mistake that Rafa did. Chasing down Raro, getting impatient, and then losing it through the Mistral corner. Taylor Funk picks up another time penalty here in his pursuit. But I think we need to keep an eye further back here. So Camborne is now chasing down T. Goldie while leading Fiji and J.O. Patel. So let's see the line that Cam can get here, chasing down T Goldie. We know he's got pace. Through Garlabon and Locke. And then it's all about how much pace can he get through here. A little bit wide for T Goldie as they make their way along the start-finish straight. But he's not quite close enough to get an offensive going. So right now, out in the lead, if we'll take a moment, we've got El Sucio-Dan, who is pursued by Flex, but it's 11 seconds back to Flex, so ESD is looking very much in control of the race. Another large gap back to Prestige and Raro. But then the fights begin. Raro is pursued by Taylor Funk, who was leading him until he had an off, which cost him 1 position. Kenny LaFleur is 5 seconds back on this group, followed by Brother John. Another gap. Oh! Looks like we've got a little bit of an exchange of positions at the back as Balzac is through on Get Dunked. So it looks like El Sucio-Dan is going for a 2-stop strategy here. So ESD is into the pits right now. And so is Prestige, actually. Oh, I wonder if Prestige had some sort of damage. So that's going to put Raro here into 2nd place. And Raro, of course, is pursued by Taylor Funk. Now here's the question of who's going to come out ahead, because this is going to put Kenny ahead. And indeed, even Brother John is going to get through on this. The question is he going to come out ahead of Red Baron? I believe he is, and yes, there we go. Prestige comes out just ahead of Red Baron, and he's now going to run these tires right through to the end. Camborne is all over T Goldie, and we are talking a little bit about the drivers here. Another exchange of positions as Get Dunked goes into the pits. But yes, as we were, Brother John leads Prestige and Red Baron. Red Baron leads T Goldie. T Goldie is pursued by this gentleman right here in 10th position, Camborne, and Cam still has Fiji Domo and Jay Patel. Jay just had an off, and now the battle between Fiji and Jay continues. Doesn't matter where they are on the grid, these two drivers are going to be going hammer and tongs, but now Jay Patel has a bit of a run here. Fiji does not have much left to defend. Jay goes off to the side. There we go, coming up. They break. Oh, could this be tears? Oh, and they make it through. Jay is able to secure the position. They're both very, very low on ERS. And now, Fiji has a bit of a launch here. We talked about how Fiji has a very, very good launch out of the corners, and now, is he going to be able to make something happen here as he goes around the outside of Bosu? Here we go, too wide. Oh, but it's not a tenable line. Is it? Could it possibly be? No. Jay continues to hold the position, and Fiji has to finally seat it, but he's not going to be done here. Jay needs to open up a gap. He needs to open up a couple of tenths here, or else Fiji is going to be all over him. We know that Fiji is very, very good under acceleration. Oh, and it looks like Prestige is... Nope, that's T Goldie, I should say, is dropping down as he pits for one final stop. So Fiji chasing Jay here through Verly, and then making his way along this twisting section toward Hotel, braking at 75, and then through this, the slowest section of the track, all the way down. Is he even going to go to first gear here? Nope, stays in second as he makes his way around Sambon. But look at the gap that Jay Patel has been able to set up. I'm sure that Fiji has a better launch here, but that's not going to count for very much because Jay was able to take advantage of his greater pace through the corners. Fiji picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings, and at this point, I think it would be wise for us to start keeping an eye on the penalties, as pretty much everyone, I suspect, has made their last pit stop, unless some people want to just do a tiny 6-lap stint on their intermediates. Taylor Funk has lost it again, and now Brother John is right on the back. As Taylor Funk rejoins, and that's going to drop him down. He was previously in 4th, but now Raro is up into 3rd, Kenny in 4th, and Taylor Funk is dropped down to 7th after a couple of mistakes, and now he's finding himself right in the middle of this fight. We've got Taylor Funk leading Red Baron 7th to 8th, and Camborne, who has been charging, is right behind Red Baron. But Prestige now. Oh, and T Goldie loses it. This is his first lap out. And he drops behind Balzac. So Prestige all over Brojo. So this is a bit of a run. He could go for a bit of a lunge. How is he going to go around the outside? Brother John defends to the inside. And Prestige goes a little deep. Ooh, that was close. But they both keep control, and it looks like they've also both kept control of every bit of their wings. Red Baron fending off Camborne. Oh, and that's a Ferrari pit stop, as I see Get Dunked is making his way into the pits. And he picks up a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane. That's just frustrating day for Get Dunked. The rain has not been treating him well. Cam continuing his offensive against Red Baron. Meanwhile, Prestige right on Brother John. Get Dunked is retired. He says, you know what, that's enough for me today. I'm done. Prestige has a bit of a move here. He goes around the outside. Is there going to be a cutback? He had to cut a little bit too late, and because of that, Brother John is able to hold on to 5th position. Of course, he does have a 3-second time penalty to be worried about. Oh, I think actually that Get Dunked's car is still on the track, confusingly enough. You're going to want to make sure that you retire. You do want to make sure that you retire while you're in the pits so that your car doesn't start cruising around. I just noticed the tire barrier is still very messed up there. That's kind of funny. So you can see all of these cars are in pretty close pursuit of each other. So there's no real big gaps between 5th and 12th. And right now, Brother John is the leader of that little group, and he is pursued by Prestige. Prestige by Taylor Funk. Taylor Funk by Red Baron. Red Baron by Camborne. Camborne by J.L. Patel. J.L. by Fiji. And then there's one big gap back to Balzac, and then T Goldie is still reasonably close to Balzac, as chance would have it. So Taylor Funk has some front row seats for this battle for 5th position. Meanwhile, Flex is getting really close onto the back of Raro. We've got some battles further ahead, and I'll keep you informed of them. But El Suciudan has a very comfortable pit stops gap, as Prestige is trying to get a move on Brother John here. Meanwhile, Red Baron fending off Camborne further back. There's going to be no move from Prestige this time. Oh dear, is Flex disconnected? I see him ghosted. Has Flex disconnected from this race? Oh goodness, this is upsetting. To see him possibly losing out on a podium like this. Prestige right behind Brother John, but Brother John has more ERS to deploy. And with that, there's not much that Prestige can do here. He's very, very close to the end of the Mistral Straight. His hope is to get a better launch out of the Montreal chicane. He's very close, but there's just so few opportunities in this coming section. You need to take a strange line to be able to make it around the outside of Bosu. And Brother John thus continues to fend it off. Fine defensive driving here. Look at that, just blocking the outside line, taking a nice position where he's forcing Prestige to compromise one direction or the other. Nice, clean defending from Brother John as he continues to hold on to this tenuous fifth position. Prestige cuts the corner just a little bit. That will probably have been a warning. Oh, and there's a little bit of contact there, and that's going to give Brother John a bit of an advantage. Now Taylor Funk might be able to make something of this. Meanwhile, moving back up, let's see if Flex is still disconnected. But let's take a moment and have a look at the race leader. It's El Sucio Dan. He's in a Ferrari. He's number 51. He's leading by 22 seconds over Raro, who is looking very good right now. Kenny LaFleur is 4 seconds back on Raro, and 8 seconds back of him is Flex. Flex leads Brother John. Oh, and is this a bit of aggression here? Yeah, we've got Brother John right now on the back of Flex, and Prestige on the back of Brother John. There's going to be no DRS shenanigans here. But look at this now, we've got a big tight group from 4th all the way back to 11th as Flex's disconnected car is getting into the mix, but as he is ghosted, he shouldn't be disrupting things too much, except aerodynamically. Oh, Prestige braking very, very late there as Brother John phases through the disconnected Flex. Taylor Funk, what's going on there? Well, that's a corner cut right there as Taylor Funk absolutely blasts his way through the corner. And maybe this opens up something. Oh, side by side, around the outside. Around the outside! And that's Camborne, who's taken the position of 8th from Red Baron. Flex is just up ahead of Taylor Funk. And Brother John is now in 4th position here as Flex continues to tumble through the ranks, having disconnected. Can he get back into this race? We've only got 3 laps left. Taylor Funk takes a wide line, and now Cam might be able to make his way. He's fighting his way towards the front of this group, which is led again by Brother John. Camborne only has 3 seconds of penalties, so that's going to get him ahead of Taylor Funk, and it has him even with the drivers ahead of him, so he needs to get close up to them on track. Red Baron and Flex have kept it clean, although, you know, there's... Oh! And Camborne picks up another warning for that, and as a matter of fact, so does El Sucio up in blue. Prestige, again, fighting Brother John, battling Brother John. These two are just going at it. Further back, Jao Patel has made his way through on Flex. Fiji Dumbo is going to be the next, who is at the back of this big battling group. But we come back to Prestige, who is chasing down none other than Brother John, who has been massive on the defense here. Here we go. Can Prestige do anything here? Can he get the ERS charge that he needs? Brother John defending, leaving just a little bit of gap to the outside, but he's... Oh no, there's a collision! And there goes the front wing. Big front wing damage to Prestige. Brother John is through. That might be some damage to his diffuser. Prestige picks up a huge penalty there, and that's just harsh to see, but, well, he ran right into the back of Brother John there, and that can happen in racing like this. Prestige, now with this damage late on in the race, he's probably going to drop all the way out of the points. Although he's got a small blessing that the vehicle behind him is Flex, but Fiji is going to get through, and with that, I think Prestige just has lost his chance of points here. Well, that was a dramatic moment right there. But, as we can see, Brother John is continuing to hold this, but now, Camborne might find his way into 4th position after that big disconnection, which would be an absolute coup if he was able to do that after spending so much of this race disconnected at very low pace. Prestige into the pits, and that's going to drop him out of the points, and it's going to be too late for anything to happen to fix that. Meanwhile, I see that Balzac and T. Goldie having a battle here for the back. It's 12th position, and T. Goldie is continuing to hold off Balzac. Actually, I should say, I think T. Goldie just got through on Balzac. Lap 26 of 27. Oh, is that Prestige? Yes, of course. Prestige making his way out, and he's going to actually be a potential fighter here, although he's not going to be able to get back into the points unless something absolutely wild happens. So, El Sucio Dan leads Raro, leads Kenny LaFleur, who's starting to close the gap a little bit. Brother John has a 6/10 gap back to Camborne, who is hungry. Brother John has done so well on the defense throughout this race. He has fended off all comers so far, but will Camborne be the one to break the armor? Red Baron is 2 seconds back, fending off JL Patel. Fiji Domo is a small gap back and is pursued by Taylor Funk. Flex looks like he is still disconnected, but he is holding on to a point, which will be some small solace for him. El Sucio Dan has started the final lap of the race. So we have 3 sectors and just a bit left for Camborne in his pursuit of Brother John. Of course, Brother John has an ace up his sleeve, and that is 3 seconds fewer penalties. So after this very intense midfield battle, it has been a quiet race up front with El Sucio Dan, Kenny LaFleur, and Raro having reasonably quiet races. But further back, it has been a Thunderdome in the rain here at Paul Ricard, and Camborne is chasing, pursuing, seeing if he can get through on Brother John. Jay is chasing down Red Baron, and this could be a very nice result for Red Baron. Oh, a little bit of a moment there, and is that going to allow Cam to get right onto the tail of Brother John? If he can get through, upset Brother John just a little bit, and build up some time, then that could be it. Here we go. Up the inside. And Camborne is through on Brother John. The defense of the McLaren couldn't last any longer, but Brother John just needs to stay within 3 seconds, and he will hold on to this excellent 4th position. He's got a little bit of ERS to spend here. El Sucio Dan setting a fastest lap as he is through with a victory. Raro making his way through comfortably in 2nd place, a season best result for him. Kenny LaFleur pursuing all on his lonesome, but now we've got Camborne leading Brother John, and behind them we've got Red Baron and J.Ol Patel. Prestige picks up a DNF. Seems that he has retired from the race late on, or possibly had a spin. Let's see if we can catch what happened here from the Sucio Cam. And here we go, Camborne leads Brother John, but he's going to lose it at the finish line. Camborne comes across Brother John, and is Red Baron. Red Baron is actually promoted to 4th because of the penalties. Red Baron kept it clean, and with that, now we have Fiji Domo coming across the line, and Taylor Funk. Flex coming through, disconnected, but still getting a single point for 10th position. And there's Flex, and just behind him is T Goldie, and finishing. It's been a tricky race for Balzac, but chapeau to him for taking off that racing line, and Balzac comes through in 12th position, the final finisher of this race. Prestige is a DNF, Get Dunked a DNF, and your winner in Paul Ricard at the French Grand Prix FRL Season 3 is our reigning champion, El Sucio Dan, driver of the day, Brother John. I cannot disagree with that. What a fantastic defensive drive from Brojo. And here's our podium. There we go, the podium. It's LaFleur, it's Raro, and leading our reigning champion, El Sucio Dan in the Ferrari. And there you have it. Your race winner, El Sucio Dan. He is followed by Raro, 24 seconds back, Kenny LaFleur, Red Baron, who led that midfield group, and after all of that battling, it's Red Baron who comes out on top, after keeping his nose clean, just edging out Brother John for 4th position, Camborne, J.L. Patel, Fiji Domo, Taylor Funk, and Flex, who sadly disconnected after looking like he was a podium contender, still is able to finish with a single point ahead of T. Goldie, Balzac, Prestige, Get Dunked, Rafa, and Nameless Nate, who sadly was not able to start this race. This has been Formula Racing League, Your caster has been Chaos. Thank you very much for tuning in.